Welcome everybody to the We Three Bros podcast Christmas special and season finale.
What's finale. Up, What's up, Derek? As you guys can see, Derek is. Oh, well, if you guys are listening but not watching, Derek is wearing a lovely, just wonderful man. Show up, everybody, the Christmas sweater. Yeah, that's awesome. And then this fucking guy over here
Joseph failed in his assignment.
He gave me one job, and I didn't get my Christmas sweater. So instead I wore my Doctor Strange T-shirt in honor of No Way. Is it No Way Home now? No Way Home. Because
some movie that came out today.
So just wearing the T-shirt. But today on the podcast, we're gonna cover quite a few topics. One of them is Derek's infamous fatality. Derek, man, if you were in Mortal Kombat and you had to give somebody a fatality, how do you think you would give a fatality? What would be your special move if you were a character in Mortal Kombat?
I think probably one of my favorite ones is like ripping the spine out, like with the head, the skull, and everything. That's one of my favorite fatalities.
You know what mine would be? Mine would be me giving one of the other characters a bowl of soup, but it'd be poison in there, and then they would vomit to death or something like that.
it'd be the other guy's parents.
Yes, exactly. South Park style. Yeah, South Park style. Or my fatality would, if I didn't give them soup, I would give them an apple. Or make them force them to eat an apple, and then the apple mind control them, and then they beat themselves to death or something like that.
They just start punching themselves in the face.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly what I would do. Is I would give them some kind of mind control apple or something like that, or food. I don't think we've ever seen a food one. They're always trying to punch somebody's head off or something like that, or anything like that.
I don't think there's anything involved with food.
Yeah, I would bring food, man. I'd switch the game up, and I'd be like, yo, eat this apple. Take a bite out of it, or force them to take a bite out of it, and then just have them go crazy and beat the crap out of themselves or something like that.
You'd make them eat pizza with pineapple on it?
Hey, man, it's delicious. You stop. You watch your mouth, sir. You watch your mouth, sir.
That's blasphemy.
It is. Some people would say it's blasphemy, so I'm just gonna keep on moving. But yeah, no. The reason I talk about the fatalities, or ask Derek about the fatalities, is because my man recommended a movie for me to watch last week. Obviously, we get into the middle of the podcast, and he goes, "You watch it?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "You son of a bitch." So I took the liberty to sit down and actually watched it. And if you guys follow our Twitter account, is it at We Three Bros Pod, or is it at We Three Bros? Do you remember what the hashtag is? I gotta plug this better. I'm over here talking about it.
Yeah, I can't remember.
We'll look it up real quick, man. But yeah, so I was on there and I was live tweeting, watching the film. It's a pretty good film. Not what I expected. For some reason, sometimes when I watch animated stuff, I forget that yes, there are R-rated.
So it's at We Three Bros Pod, and then the number 1.
Okay, at We Three Bros Pod. And the number 1. If you guys are listening, please feel free to follow us on there. I'm gonna say some outlandish and crazy shit on there. Okay, maybe not crazy, maybe not outlandish, but I just make some funny comments about random things. And again, of course, I'll plug the episodes when I get a chance. But watching the Mortal Kombat movie, it was like its own. It was an entire fatality. Like the entire film was just like a fatality.
Like they did a lot of. I don't know when it started, but when they did the X-ray thing in the game, or when someone got punched and you could see bones breaking. I'm not sure what game they started that, which number, but they did a lot of that.
Yeah, most recent ones for sure. I would say at least the last 3. They for sure started doing the X-ray thing, which they kind of implemented in the film, which was funny.
Yeah, it was they're having a bunch in the film.
Oh, dude. It was like every other scene, right?
Yeah, for real. Almost every other hit was like the X-ray thing.
But the thing that was funny to me is that they did it with Jax, and I was like, how are they gonna do this with Jax? And it was just like they did it, and I think one of the characters had his arms or some shit, and they pulled.
It was
Shao Kahn.
Shao Kahn.
Yeah, Shao Kahn had his arms and they X-rayed his arms.
You can see it pulling the metal apart or whatever.
But it's always funny to kind of watch it because in Mortal Kombat it doesn't make sense. And I guess maybe I missed that in the movie if they addressed it, or even in the games. Like round 1, they're doing X-rays and shit. People's skulls are cracking open and shit or whatever. Yeah. But then they keep fighting. So does it just regenerate? Do they still feel the pain of their skull shattering and then being put back together, similar to Deadpool style? and then they just
Yeah.
get back and keep fighting until like,
Right.
and then at the
Like,
end when they die, they
do they
die.
have self regeneration?
I mean, do they? But they still feel everything because it is still Mortal Kombat. But then at the end of
Yeah.
it, like at the end of the fight after round twos, if you get your ass kicked twice, then it's just like, oh, now you die. Like we're gonna take the
Yeah.
life force from you in some
Yeah.
capacity or whatever. But anyways, yeah, the way it started too, right? You see this woman with the baby, and Baraka for some reason has multiplied himself into 4 different versions of himself, or more than that.
Well,
And
if
then
you
he,
play the last game, there's like they're a whole race, and Baraka's just
oh,
one of them.
oh no shit, no, I haven't.
Yeah,
I was
it's a
forgetting.
whole race of. There's like female ones. There's male ones.
What? Okay, did not know
Yeah.
that. Did not know that. I thought he was just like I was really confused. I did not play the most recent Mortal Kombat, so I didn't know that there was an actual story. I forget there's a story. There is a story, and the story is pretty cool. But I don't know how far they've gotten into the story or how elaborate they've
Yeah.
actually come to explaining characters and just like whatever. But yeah, anyways, like again, I guess the race of what is this race called? Do you know?
Um, I, I know they say it.
I can't remember. Anyways, they like show up and they surround this like mom and dad, and the dad just gets like, I'll take your
Tarkatan.
word for it,
I don't
man.
know.
Frank Tarkenton. All right, so the Frank Tarkentons come like running, and they surround this family, and like you see this guy, he pulls out this little butter knife or like this like little like hand knife or like what is it, pocket knife, and he's like sticks it
Yeah.
out, and these guys like have blades, right, like the size of swords on their arms, and they just start
Yeah.
stabbing him and shit like repeatedly,
Yeah.
and
They
then they
stabbed the shit
eventually,
out of him.
then they cut his head off, and his head goes flying, and I was like, what the fuck am I watching right now? And then the baby is crying, and they attack the mom and shit, and then like she gets stabbed too, and they're just like prison stabbing her. It's terrible, man.
Right.
It was awful. They were like prison, like again, and the thing's kind of scary because they were also bald headed and they had blades and they were kind of
And
darker
mouthful
toned,
of like teeth
mouthful
or
of
like
teeth. You're just kind of like, man, these look a little like Latinos, but it's fine, whatever. And so they
they're
like
just missing the shirt
they're just
button at the
no,
top.
they were wearing tank tops. I swear he was wearing. Were they wearing tank tops or some shit? I don't remember.
I
I
think
don't. In, my,
so.
in the movie, I swear they're wearing tank tops or something.
Some
But
wife beaters and chinos.
exactly, exactly. Anyways, but they stab the mom, and then Raiden shows up, and he like takes the baby or whatever. Anyways, that's how the movie starts. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? This is crazy. It was wild. It was wild,
Yeah.
man. All the stuff that was happening, but eventually it led into some, the storyline of like, they train Liu Kang, and Shao Kahn comes back and he's like, we got to battle this out. And I think he like comes to some kind of agreement with Lord Raiden, and they're like, we're gonna bring this back. We got to defend the world. And then while all this stuff is happening, right, and they have to go back to this certain place and fight in the tournaments and everything like that. And so while all this stuff is happening, Scorpion and Sub Zero are doing some other shit. I don't know what the hell they're
Yeah.
doing. They're doing something that's not even related to the tournament. But it does come back and tie it in at the end, right? But for some reason, it's just I'm watching 2 different movies right now, right? Like I was, or at least when I was watching it at the time, I was like, I'm watching 2 different movies. There's 2 different stories kind of
Yeah,
going on.
because they don't like go much into the backstory for Sub Zero and Scorpion.
Yeah, which you find
Because
out
the
it's the second one. It's not the first
yeah,
Sub-Zero.
it's not Bihan because Scorpion killed Bihan, and that's why he wants to kill the second Scorpion wants to kill Sub Zero.
Yeah.
So they don't really they don't really go back into that. I guess they figure you either played the games or knew
Yeah.
some of the lore ahead of time.
Which I mean, you and I both like are somewhat familiar with him and stuff. So I forgot
Yeah,
whenever he's just like, "Hey, this is his brother," which it made me also think, why the hell did they wear the mask? Is that part of like some kind like
it
the
looks cool.
it just looks cool. Okay, I figured so. 'Cause
Yeah,
I was thinking that after a while. I was like, I think in the very first Mortal Kombat movie, right? The one that came out, I think it's like in the 90s or
then the '90s.
yeah, it came out in the 90s. Like his mask served a purpose. It was
Yeah,
almost like a breathing apparatus for him. But then like in the animated, I was just like, it's like, is this just for decoration for him to look cool? I don't know.
yeah.
It was just I had so many questions. I was like, when you're a kid, you're just like, oh shit, that looks awesome. And you're in a grown ass adult, you're like, bruh, what the hell is going on? Like, why is he wearing that? Like, what's the purpose of it? Like, does it give him better like, breathing abilities or something? I don't know. I was confused, man. But
It's like +10 to HP.
there it is. There it is. Just plus 10 to HP, just for style. So yeah, no, man, it was interesting to kind of see, um, the characters kind of like, or like just kind of see them in that film format, and
Yeah.
see their special powers, but like Scorpion and Sub Zero had their own little side story. And like you said, it kind of there was a lore, like there's a lore to it, right? There's like a history between those two. So
Yeah.
they kind of like discussed that a little bit in the beginning, and then like, or not in the beginning, like they kind of you get to see why they have beef with one another, and
Yeah.
they're doing their own thing. But then like Cyrax and I believe the other one was Sector
Sector.
like showed up, and then it made me think more. I was like, these guys are fucking Terminators. Like they're T1000s, man. Like these
Right.
guys are like I was like I think they're more underrated than what I used to give them credit for. Cuz at first I was
Well,
just like,
they were actual humans before.
yeah, they
They
were.
were in the same clan as Sub Zero, and they're whatever got put into a robot.
Oh no, shit. See, I
Yeah.
guess I didn't know that too much about them. I didn't realize that they were like in the what is it the what is the name for I forgot what their clan names is, but um yeah, if you want to do a quick Google search, man. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I can
no,
look
so
that
like
up.
I was sitting there and I was just like, oh shit, like these guys are the Terminators. Like these are badass characters. Like they can do a lot more than what I guess I used to give them credit for. Because in the game, like they're a little bit slower. They're because obviously they're robots and
Yeah.
they're heavy and stuff. And
The Lin Kuei.
Lin Kuei, thank you. But yeah, that clan, the Lin Kuei clan, I didn't know that they were a part of that clan. But yeah, so when I used to play them in the game, I was like, man, these guys are lame. Like they just drop bombs, they shoot missiles, and like which is all awesome. But at the same time, like you get like Luke Kane, who's like super quick in his movements, and Sub Zero has like the freezing ability and stuff. But
Yeah.
like now that I'm thinking about it, I was just like, holy shit, these guys are robots and just never stop. They don't need to eat, breathe, or sleep. Like
Right.
if they're coming at you, they're gonna come get you, in any way. So it was cool to watch them kind of do that in the movie and stuff. But no, movie was solid. I would give it a solid 7. If it was out of 10, like I would say it was a solid 7. It was entertaining,
Yeah.
cool stories, cool fight scenes. They used the X-ray stuff. Um, Obviously they used the voices, right? Fatality, flawless victory,
Yeah.
all that stuff, which was really cool. There were some characters that
I don't remember hearing Scorpion say "Get over here."
I don't think he said it. I was waiting for it the entire time, and I don't think he said it at all.
That's strange that they would do all the other stuff but not say that.
Again, it's kind of like a
Or the one or the toasty.
love that one, love that one. Or like when the people would pop up, right?
Yeah.
They would just
Or
come
the
like
friendship.
friendship. It's like,
Or the babe Aladdin, they turn into a baby.
I wish I would have seen some of that. That'd have been cool if they would have added that. I just loved all that stuff, like just like little Easter eggs that they would do, like you said,
Yeah.
friendships, or the babyalities, or just any of that other stuff. Man, was always entertaining, man. Like it was always funny to see it pop up when you least expected it, and I think that's what it
Yeah.
was. It's like you see all this crazy brutality, and then like a
I mean, they
baby would show
started
up,
like
or somebody would turn into a
it's
baby.
they started with like the craziness, like when the first Mortal Kombat game, like how many parents were like ready to like get pitchforks and torches and like burn down the studio because it was so violent and it's going to teach our kids to do fatalities. Some dumb.
I think. Did you ever watch that documentary on Netflix? I think it was called High Score.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they
A
talk
while
about.
ago. I mean, it's been a
It's been a
while.
while, but yeah, they talk about uh in there they talk about Mortal Kombat and like its influence on so many different games, but they also kind of talk about like the rating system and how it came out and
Yeah,
why they had to like make it and stuff. And like they showed one of the games on there that was like supposed to be so controversial and so like, and then like you go back and watch it and it was so lame. Like it was like
yeah,
I don't know. They had you switched out so much of it because they were like, "Hey, this is too far," and it still was rated too high. I don't know. It's funny. It's a good episode, but they definitely talk about Mortal Kombat. And then of course they talk about Street Fighter too. But the Mortal Kombat episode was very interesting because they were just like, "Oh my
yeah,
gosh!" Like they're saying that these kind of games have so much of an influence on kids and can make them killers and fighters and
yeah.
they're going to rip their nieces their little brothers like heart out and show them
Right,
it's still pumping or some shit. It's like, no, kids don't. They're just doing this for fun, man. They know it's fake.
right.
It's I don't know. I have my own discussion about that, but yeah, no, man. It was the Mortal Kombat movie. Mortal Kombat movie was good, and if you guys are out there listening, definitely check it out if you're a fan of the series. If not, you know, give it a chance to see what you think, right? So, um, but Mortal Kombat, man. There was also the newest episode of Hawkeye that came out. Again, spoilers for people, for anybody listening out there. But what were your thoughts on the most recent episode, man? I know you texted me and you were just like anticlimactic, man. What
Yeah, I was thinking there'd be more with only 2 episodes left. Like they had to do something more, and it just seemed like they did a lot. I
Mhm.
mean, they showed who hired the Black Widow to take out Barton, but and then the fight with Maya, which really that was probably the best part I think of the episode is that fight with Maya, and him taking out everybody beforehand. Um, but I don't know. Just I guess I expected them to do more with only 2 episodes left instead of
Yeah,
saving everything for the last episode. Like, how much can you pack into 30 minutes? You know what I mean?
true, true.
Unless the season finale is like an hour or 45 minutes long, I don't see them being able to pack a bunch into like 30 minutes.
No, for sure. I will say that the I thought the episode was great. Like I thought it was
Yeah,
great, but here's my what kind of messed it up for me was Kevin Feige. Um, when he came out and he officially announced because I think it was like the day like I think you told me right we kind of talked about it and I think it was like that same week or something. It was sometime last week where he came out and said Charlie Cox is going to return to the MCU.
yeah,
Right. As soon as he said that, I knew that Vincent was going to come back as the Kingpin. And
yeah,
I think it kind of and then of course when he's just like, hey, there's gonna be a huge reveal or like you guys, next episode is gonna blow your mind. It was kind of off putting to me because I was just like, it was kind of off putting to me. Did you see the score of the game? Is it or
it's over.
it's over?
Mm-hmm.
Did the Chiefs score a touchdown?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry guys. The game's going on live right now, and he did not want the Chiefs to win. I could care less which team would have won, but
yeah. I'm not a fan of either, but
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
still prefer San Diego to win.
Sorry, guys. But getting back on track. Yeah. So I think with him coming out and announcing that, it was off-putting, and I guess I had my expectations a little bit lower. Like if he didn't come out and
Yeah,
say that, I would have went in there really blind. And it's kind of like whenever, and this is when I've been trying to stop doing this. Is whenever like if I watch a movie first and you ask me, you're
yeah,
like, hey, how was it? I just say I try not to say like you should go watch it or it's really good because like
yeah,
your anticipation's already high by me saying
yeah.
that and then you go in and if it's not what you expected
Yeah, I
or
think
if
that
you
was kind of like my issue with this episode is like, remember we were talking about it last week. I said that the director said that this episode's going to blow your mind. I'm like, something huge got to happen.
yeah
And then
you're
like
thinking Thor's gonna be there or Bruce
it could have
Banner
been anything.
something yeah
But their big reveal was Kingpin at the end. And
yeah
like a grainy screenshot from a crappy cell phone, like a flip phone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah, and it was, and again, I get where you're coming from, right? Like that was annoying and that was a letdown for you, right? Again, it still wasn't like anticlimactic for me. Like I thought it was a big deal, right? Like because again, watching, all the seasons of Daredevil, man, like he was fantastic. Like that particular
Yeah.
actor as Kingpin was awesome. I know you don't have a lot of time, man, but if you want to probably load some episodes on your flight or something and check it out, man, I highly recommend it. It is a
Yeah.
good show for what it is. All the other spin-offs aren't that great, so like your was it Iron Fist, your Jessica Jones is pretty good.
Punisher.
Jessica Jones is pretty good. But like Luke Cage is great for the first like 4 or 5 episodes of the first season and then it's terrible. It's awful after that. So but Daredevil was probably definitely the shining star out of all of them
Yeah.
and was the one that probably shouldn't have gotten canceled, um, if anything. But I get why they did it, right? But anyway, so for me, when that got revealed, I was like, oh shit! Like I was like, yay! But if he didn't say that, if the director didn't say that, if Kevin Feige didn't say that about Charlie Cox, I would have been like jumping out of my seat, like, oh my god, like this is crazy, like hell yeah! But
Yeah.
um, that wasn't the case, right? Like it had been announced and or they not announced, but he had said that. So whenever I watched the episode, I was just like, oh shit, like that's great. I'm excited. I'm glad
Yeah.
these some of these characters are going to come into the MCU because they're strong characters, right? They're important characters within the universe, right? I'm still waiting for the fucking X-Men to join the Avengers, but whatever. We're not gonna talk about that. But like those guys at least being crossed over and be or not crossed over, but like yeah, I guess crossed over, right? Going from Netflix to like Disney, like I'm pumped for it and I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm happy for those two characters to come back. I hope maybe they bring a few of the other ones. I would love to see Mike Coulter come back as Luke Cage. They just need to get somebody different for Iron Fist. But and I would love to see Jessica Jones come back, and even like be within Harlem and stuff, man. And I mean Hell's Kitchen, and be around all the other MCU characters that are around that world and around that area and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But I was excited for again spoilers for everybody. Hopefully you guys know we're talking about spoilers here, and if you're not, be pissed off at us. But
Nah.
I think it was a good way to kind of open up the universe and to see what's kind of coming out further. But again, I can see for somebody like you who maybe didn't watch that particular series,
Yeah.
be like, I don't get it. Or why? Like, okay, whatever. But the Maya fight was awesome. Or at least the pre
Yeah.
Maya fight was awesome. Like
Yeah.
awesome. That was so cool. When he was taking people out
Taking them dudes out like
from
one
under
by
the car
one.
and shit. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was reminiscent of like that's how Batman should be. Like Batman is that
Yeah.
kind of character. Like Batman needs to take people out like that because
Yeah.
either they took a page out of Batman or Batman needs to take a page out of this episode because that was cool in the way that he took out a lot of the henchmen and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then of course like her like being like, oh shit, what's happening? And then like him showing up as, again, spoiler,
Yeah. And I
Ronin,
mean,
and then fighting with her, right?
when you got down to the last guy, he didn't really have to be quiet because she wouldn't hear him anyway. He could have just walked out and like started slapping the shit out of him. She would never know
I thought it
until
was
she
fun.
looked over and saw him.
I thought it was funny, like after they fought, right? Because like, Kate Bishop showed up and she just like got on her motorcycle and left. Like it
Yeah,
was
she's
just
like, "I'm
random.
out.
She's just like, I
See
get
ya."
like it was just weird. It was like a weird sequence of like of things where she's just kind of like peace
And,
and just
oh, and
like,
another thing that got me was so after that when she went back and then the dude showed up. What's his name? The guy that's always with Maya that does the sign
oh, I
language
just
with
call
her.
him her boyfriend. I don't think that's her boyfriend. Like he's not the boyfriend. I forgot his name.
So
Little mustache guy with the tattoo. Yep.
yeah. So when she showed up, and it was like she was saying that
Oh
he's the
shit.
one
He's the informant.
that yeah, that he's the informant. But she was like, how old was she when they did the first flashback with her and they showed Ronan kill her father? Like a teenager?
Yeah. Yeah, I would
So I thought they were the same age. So like
I guess
to
that would
me,
make her
like
a lot older.
yeah, either she's older or how is he Kingpin's number two and he's a teenager?
Oh shit, you're right.
I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't make no damn sense. I'm like, either this guy is like 10 years older than her, or like somehow Kingpin's number two was a teenager.
Yeah. Yeah, it was odd. Like that was definitely like I guess I didn't realize that, but no, that now that you mentioned that, I'm like, huh, that doesn't make any kind of sense. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on there? I don't know. It's. I'm gonna have to go rewatch that. Now you got me thinking, man. Yeah, you got me thinking. But let's backtrack a little
And
bit.
then
Oh no, go for it, go for
and,
it, go for it, go
and
for
then
it. Then we'll
the
backtrack here.
blip at the beginning kind of like confused me too because they said 2018 and I was trying to think like when did when did Infinity War come out, and I thought it was for some reason I thought it was 2017
Well, it was, so if it was 2018, 5 years later, technically would have made it 2023, but we're in
or
2021.
2020. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, are they in the future right now,
Yeah.
or are they in the same year we are in right now? But I think I was
So
on.
Infinity War was 2018.
Oh,
So the
okay.
snap happened in 2018.
Hmm.
So they showed that. So then it was 5 years. Everyone knows 5 years passed before the next. Everyone came back. So yeah, I mean it would have to be 2018, 2019, 22 at the earliest.
Yeah.
So I guess they're kind of making it like next year already, even
Okay,
though
that
it's like
makes
2 weeks
okay.
out still, which kind of makes it makes sense, but it doesn't because this happens during Christmas. So
Yeah.
it's still 2021. It hasn't happened. Hawkeye's happening during Christmas, like right before Christmas.
Yeah. Did you watch Carnage, right? I think we talked about this in a previous episode. Venom, Carnage.
The Venom movie.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh fuck. Okay. Um. Because there's okay. So, anyways. Um. Oh, does he? Okay, never mind. Damn it, I wanted to talk about it something. But anyways, so one thing that I did think was pretty cool at the beginning was when the blip happened, how it showed
Yeah,
her how she came back. They showed it from the people who got blipped perspective, which I thought was pretty cool. While she was sitting there washing her hands and then she like dusted out and then dusted
Yeah.
back in, but it was just like the same house but different color, or like it was the same house but just like in the future.
Yeah.
I was reading it was either on Twitter or if it was on Reddit or something. People were like they were asking questions and they were trying to discussing about the blip and stuff, and somebody was like, yeah, but nobody ever wants to talk about the people that got blipped on the plane, especially the pilot. What happened to
Right.
that plane? I was like,
Well, I mean, they kind of showed a preview like of what would happen um, when Nick Fury and what's her name that's always with her, Maria Hill, got blipped, and they said that helicopter spin out of control.
oh yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, but
So
somebody
if that happened, then airplanes went down all over the place.
well, that's what that like the comment was saying. It was just like, hey, what about like they were like, what about that Disney? But Disney won't address it, will they? And then they were kind of discussing how like because they were like, well, yeah, if somebody blipped and they came back, if somebody was in a plane and it came down crashing, when they blip back, do they blip back in that wreckage of that plane, or they blip back in space or like in the air? Where would they blip
Mm-hmm.
back?
Or just like randomly in the air, so now you're like floating, and then all of a sudden falling.
Yeah, like do you blip back in the spot that you blipped before? So if you're over the Pacific Ocean and the plane already crashed, do
Yeah,
you just fall into the ocean?
fall into the ocean. Hope you can swim.
Hope you like do you just fall into the ocean and just hope you can swim? Like what how does that work or what does that look like?
Yeah,
I'm
it was
just
kind of.
I don't know. It was just again they were just
Or
like
if you were on a highway, and then you come back and you're in the middle of a highway.
or if you're snorkeling, you just happen to be snorkeling, scuba diving or something like that. You still have the
What if
same
you're in the
thought.
middle of taking a dump? You come back and you're like,
You're some random
you,
stranger's house?
I was taking a poop.
Or what if your house got destroyed and they built a highway right there and you come back and you're pooping
You're
in the
just
middle
in
of
the
the
middle of the road
highway?
pooping.
I don't know. There's so many questions about the blip thing where I'm just like, this makes a lot of sense, and then I'm just like, this doesn't make that much sense. I don't know, man. So I have to go back. I have to go back and maybe try to like do some more further research or ask some more questions or ask some people or whatever. But that scene was pretty cool. Watching her like blip out, right, and then kind of come back,
Yeah,
and she was like really confused. And then you know the scene with her and Kate in the wherever they were at. I think she was at
it
Kate.
was her old apartment that
That was
got
her.
burnt down.
Yeah, her old apartment, and she's like making mac and cheese, and she's talking
Oh
to
yeah,
her, and she's like, "Hey, just like my daddy used to make it," which I thought was really cool. I was like, "Oh shit, call back to Red
yeah,
Guardian, that's awesome." And then she
yeah.
was putting hot sauce in her mac and cheese, which I was like, "Is she putting sriracha in her mac and cheese? What the hell's going on
I've
right
heard a
now?"
lot of people that do hot sauce and mac and cheese.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah,
No
yeah.
way.
I've seen people do it before.
Oh man, I've never seen it happen. Not saying that it's like I don't think it would taste good. Like I'm sure it probably still tastes good, but never knew people to do that.
Right.
It was like the first time I saw somebody put like ketchup and mustard on their pizza. I was like, what the fuck are you
Uh,
doing?
I remember in high school, some kid used to dip his pizza in mustard, and I'm like,
Yep.
I like mustard. Like I'll put mustard on
But
my
not on pizza,
hamburger,
bro.
hot dog,
Not
on
on.
my sandwich, but on pizza,
Yeah,
that's
that's
just
like
as bad as pineapple on pizza.
I don't know. It's just as bad as ranch on pizza. Ranch on pizza is disgusting.
Yeah, I don't think I could do. I mean, like I've accidentally gotten ranch on pizza while eating wings, and I'll eat it. I'm not gonna like scrape it off, but I'm not gonna do it on purpose.
No, I was about to say, isn't there like there's literally I'll never forget Prince Street Pizza. The sign on the inside of that place said, if you're asking for like if it's like if you're he's like don't ask us for ranch, like get out of here kind of thing.
You know what? BJ's restaurant, they do the pizzas and stuff. They have that buffalo chicken pizza, but it has ranch dressing instead of marinara. Instead of pizza sauce. So it's buffalo pizza or buffalo sauce and chicken chunks.
No.
That's like my favorite pizza at that
Oh
place.
no.
But for some reason they put onions on it too. I always have to tell them don't put any onions on it.
That's weird. Not on that. Not on that.
But I guess because it doesn't have the other traditional toppings, there's no pepperoni, there's no, whatever else you put out that you prefer on pizza. It's just like the crust,
Yeah.
um, the buffalo chicken and the buffalo chicken sauce, and then the cheese, and then and then drizzle of ranch on top.
It just sounds like a buffalo chicken sandwich, but
It
flat.
pretty much is.
You know what I'm
Like
saying? Like a
you fold
flat.
it in half, and
Yeah.
it's like eating a buffalo chicken sandwich.
That's what it kind
in
of
a
sounds
pita.
like. Yeah. And a pita, yeah. Or a calzone.
Oh yeah, calzone.
A calzone, there it is. No, but I mean, but like on regular pizza, I don't know, man. I don't know if I
Yeah,
could do
yeah.
it on regular pizza, like some like on pepperoni, like a meat lovers
No,
pizza or some
no,
shit, throwing some ranch on there.
no.
Nah, man, that's sounds disgusting. For all you ranch lovers out there, like I don't know, I don't like ranch at all on anything.
What? I like when I eat buffalo wings, I have to like I douse them in
I
ranch.
mean,
Like,
and again, that's a good combination. That's the combination that people eat all the time, right? But me
yeah,
personally, I'm just not a huge ranch person. But throwing it on
yeah.
pizza, like, no, bro, on a no, no, thank you. Like that just sounds gross. Like I maybe on a salad or some shit, or like on buffalo wings, like I get it, like that's a good mix. But throwing it on pizza, get this shit off my pizza. Get the hell out of here. I mean, if you guys do eat ranch on your pizza, like please still listen. But if you don't, bless you. I'm just kidding. Um, But no, so that was, and then what else happened in the episode? There was the Yelena and her, and then Kate Bishop just kind of talking, talking about things in the future. People really want to see them kind of maybe partner up in the future, or just kind of
Yeah,
want to see their dynamic in the future. As they just have a lot, like, Yelena just has a lot of respect for her, and it's just like, look, I'm not trying to kill you. You're not the person I'm after. Like, you're just friends with this person because of this, or you
yeah,
connected with this person because of that reason or whatever. So it didn't seem like there was much explanation there. Or no, I mean, there was some explanation, but just like why she just had like respect for her was kind of interesting. But I
yeah,
would love to see a series, maybe those two interact a little bit more. That's just something I would watch, and I think a lot of people kind of want to see that more often and stuff. So we'll see.
yeah,
We'll see if something like that would happen in the future. But I know them two were talking, and of course, like Clint, um, is still trying to go solo and do his own thing. And then I think Kate was kind of like, man, I can't let him do his own thing. Like he
yeah,
needs people. He wants to be alone, but I can't let him be alone. So it was something where she was just like, I'm gonna try to do my best to be there for Clint because obviously he needs it. I
yeah.
still don't know how the hell he's gonna get home for in time for the holidays, but we'll see. I don't know if he's gonna be home for Christmas, but
Unless he gets a Quinjet.
yeah, exactly. Or yeah, I don't know. Maybe Doctor Strange can do a little circle thing and he could just
Yeah,
jump in
can
and
do
go
the
go back home or something
sling
like
ring
that.
him.
Yeah, or something exactly. So I don't know. We'll see, man. But uh should we get into it?
Oh, and that one guy that he went, who he's the EMT or whatever, that he went to his apartment.
Oh
The guy that's
yeah.
watching the dog, and he mentioned that their costumes are ready, like Hawkeye's new costume and Kate Bishop's new costume are ready.
That's right.
So I wonder if they're going to wear him in the season finale. Like he's going to have like the purple, the
Oh
actual like,
oh shit, that'd be pretty sick.
yeah,
That'd be pretty
that'd be
sick.
cool to see.
Yeah, I totally forgot about him. Yeah, and they said a lot of great things. They were just like, oh yeah, he's like a cook. He like bakes. He LARPs. He's a firefighter. He's like
Yeah,
EMT. Like they say he does like a little bit of everything and stuff. So kudos
yeah,
to that man. Let that man get his shine on. Do his
right.
thing. Was there anything else though that happened in the episode? Obviously, the Vincent thing was the thing. Kingpin's announcements was like the biggest thing. The Maya fight. Her realizing and finding out that that the person that they were looking for, or I guess the reason why her dad got killed was because there was like an informant, right? Somebody that was supposed to
Yeah,
be on the inside, and like you said, it was King. I can't talk today. Kingpin's number two, right? Which
yeah,
you and I are. I'm gonna go back and look this up, but you're saying that him logistically from an age wise wouldn't make any kind of sense, right?
yeah. Unless he's older and just looks really young. I don't know.
I mean, you can see that too. Or maybe they're both
Yeah,
still really young and they just happen to be, maybe Kingpin just kind of like uh, uh puts like young people under his wing or some shit like that.
maybe.
Not too sure. We'll see.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
we'll
we'll
see.
find out
Yeah,
next
next
week,
week.
maybe.
Next week's the last episode. I don't know if you'll be able to watch it. Hopefully you can. Um,
Yeah, I don't know. I'll
watch watch
try. I
watch
mean,
it.
I
Watch you try to get on your Disney and like they're like, oh yeah, the region you're
region locks it.
yeah, a region's like the region you're trying to watch it in is not allowed in this country or something like that.
Yeah,
You're gonna miss everything. You're gonna be blipped for the next 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
You're gonna be blipped for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, and what The Witcher comes out tomorrow, season 2.
Yup.
Is
Matrix
this
next
season?
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Kingsman next Wednesday.
Matrix.
Man, there's a lot of things coming out next Wednesday.
Yeah.
And you'll be in Thailand
So,
riding elephants and shit and fighting tigers.
right?
Did you see a tiger last time?
Yeah, I took pictures with a tiger last time I was there.
You petted a tiger, right? Or you just looked, you just like took, you, it
Yeah,
was
I was
like
petting
behind the
him.
cage and you were fucking like,
No, I was in there with him. Like I was petting him and everything.
oh no shit.
The guy wanted me to bite his tail. He's like, pick up his tail, and I'm holding his tail, and he's like, now pretend you're biting it. And I'm like, I'm not gonna pretend I'm biting this tiger's tail. What if he like comes out of whatever sedation you got him under, and he looks back and like,
He's
what you
like,
gonna do with that tail in your mouth?
let's fuck
And
this
then
guy
mauls
up.
my face off.
Pretty much. You turn around and just like, oh yeah, remember Derek? Yeah, he don't look like he did no more.
Right.
He looks like half his face is Two Face, and then his other face is his face,
Right.
kind of thing. So, but yeah, man, you'll be out there, so I'll be watching all this stuff. I'll try to come up with some good ideas so the next time we have these conversations, these convos on We Three Bros podcast, we could definitely talk about some more things. But, I said this once earlier, man, but are we gonna get into it? Are we gonna talk about it? Are we
Yeah.
getting, do we get it in now, or should I just go ahead and start talking about some other things first, man?
I think we should get into it.
Okay, first,
There's
before we get into it, man, ladies and gentlemen, um, I want to talk about a trailer really quick. I'm gonna talk about some other things real quick, and then we'll get into it,
all
Derek.
right. All right.
There was a trailer. I don't know if you watched it, man. Everything, everywhere, all at once. You see anything
Mm-mm.
about this?
No.
Okay, so I believe the main character, I'm gonna butcher her last name, but I know her first name's Michelle. I think her last name is Yao. Um, Let me see if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's Yeoh. Um, was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. She was in Crazy Rich Asians. She was also in Chang-Chi, which I believe that was she the mom? I think she may have been the mom. No, she wasn't
Yeah.
the mom.
The aunt, wasn't she?
I think she was the aunt. Yes. Um, but she's in this movie where it's like interdimensional. So she like relives different parts of her life over and over again, and it happens with her being at a laundromat or something like that. It
Uh-huh.
looks wicked. It looks Jamie Lee Curtis apparently is like the villain in the film. Um I believe it's supposed to come out March or early 2022, and it looks wild. It looks wild, man. So
Yeah.
if you get a chance, check out the trailer. Again, again, there's a lot of things coming out about multi dimensions and stuff, but she like lives like different characters, but it's still the same character. Like, or she like relives different parts of her life that she like didn't live. And it sounds similar, or it seems similar when watching the trailer to like Assassin's Creed, where you're reliving like scenes within your genes
Mm-hmm.
or situations in your genes about different aspects of your life or something. So it looks kind of interesting. It looks very interesting. When you get a chance, definitely watch it, man. Again, she's badass kung fu too, so she can kick some ass, especially on the show. So I'm excited for that. Just should be pretty cool. So again, if you guys haven't gone out there and watched the trailer, it looks awesome. It looks awesome. Um, let's see. I wrote down some other notes of some things I wanted to cover. Um, but I don't. It's no point in waiting. We might as well jump into it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all around the world. Mr. Worldwide. No, I was just about to steal his tagline. I'm not him. There is going to be some spoilers. I'll try to make sure that once we kind of get done to kind of let you know like how much to skip, or if you want to listen to the spoilers, feel free to listen to the spoilers. But we are, again, I wish we had sound effects because I'd play the sound effects, but we are in the spoiler section of the podcast. Again, the spoiler section of the podcast. If you're listening anything beyond this, know that if you have not watched the movie, please watch the movie first and then come back to listen. Because if you don't, there gonna be a lot of pissed off people. You're gonna be a pissed off person,
Right.
but it's not because of us. We warned you. Don't listen beyond this unless you want to know some more spoil, if you want to learn about some spoilers in No Way Home. Derek, man, initial thoughts of the film. What did you think?
I loved it. It was awesome.
You loved it. You
I
loved it.
I would have stayed and watched it a second time in a row.
If you had bought tickets, you're like, if I didn't have to work tomorrow, I'd watch it 2 times.
Right. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. It lived up to all the hype, I think. Everything that people like were speculating on and thought was going to happen, it it was all that and more. I mean, it was. I don't think they could have done anything else to make it any better. Honestly.
Hey man, I'm gonna do a callback here to a future, or not future episode, a previous episode that we had. Um, remind me to. It's about Doc Ock, so I wanna come back to this. But yeah, man, the movie was great. It was really
Yeah.
good. I didn't really like the cheesiness at the end, but whatever. It gets a little too mushy, but that's just me. Maybe I'm just not as sensitive, more can or not more sensitive than what I already am or whatever. But Mary Jane and him like kissing and all that stuff, and him telling bye to
Yeah.
everybody, I was just like, I get it, it needs to happen, but this is a little cheesy. But backtracking here, um, man, they started early and they started early fast, right?
Yeah.
Like immediately ended where the first film ended,
The
and
second film.
second film where the
Yeah.
second film ended. Which I actually watched it like maybe a few hours before the film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, let me rewatch this to see like maybe I missed something or whatever. Like just to kind of rewatch it. So I rewatched the second film and then Far From Home, right? And then I went into No Way Home, and again it transitions really well, right? Like
Yeah.
John Jameson is telling everybody who he is, Peter Parker. He's trying to go back to school and live a normal life, and I really like that scene when he went home and he's with MJ, and like he's like nude and you don't know what's happening, and there's like
Right.
there's like that innuendo or just like or not, or the insinuation that they're doing things more than what they are or whatever, and then like Aunt May's breaking up with Happy too.
I know.
He's like, but when can I see you again? Like, and then he like comes in and she's like, no, you gotta leave or whatever. So that shit's hilarious. So then but then they go in, open the door. They're like, Peter's nude in his underwear, and his Aunt May's just like, we can talk about safe sex, it's perfectly fine. And
Right. Wants
then,
to have the talk.
yo, yeah, he's just like, what the hell? No, it's not it. And so obviously they find out what happens, and they get interrogated, and poor Ned just fucking gives them everything, just
I
sitting there going,
know.
just giving them everything, right? And so they're interviewing Peter, they're interviewing Aunt May, she's standing strong, man. She's a strong woman. Interviewing Happy, he's talking about what is it? Nick Fury. Nick Fury's off planet. The federales know, right?
Yeah.
And so fast forward, there's a lawyer, and that lawyer is Charlie Cox from Daredevil. Holy shit. I've seen speculation about it. People talked about
Yeah.
it, and it actually happened. I fucking everybody was cheering, right? Again, not a big
Yeah.
cheer, but everybody was cheering, clapping, like they were excited to see him. Kevin Feige like announced it I think last week, and then I didn't think it was gonna happen this quick. Like I think he said it was like, oh, he's gonna come in sometime, we don't know when. And for him to show up right there, red glasses, and somebody throws a brick into like Peter's home, and he fucking catches it.
And Peter's hand was right there too. Like he was trying to catch it also.
Yeah, so like it was just like Peter knew, and then
He's like, "How'd you do that?"
yeah,
He
he was
said,
like, how'd you do?
I told you need a good lawyer."
Yeah, so man, I'm excited for him to come back to the universe. We just talked about Hawkeye and Vincent coming back. Kingpin's character coming back, and then you got Charlie Cox's character. Daredevil's back, or he's not. Yeah, I guess he's back, right? I guess this would mean he's back,
Yeah.
or he's in the universe now. So I'm super excited to see him come back. I love his character. He's very complex. He made me a Daredevil fan. Like if you saw that Ben Affleck shit, burn it, throw it away. It never happened. Or if you got the little clicker thing from Men in Black, use
Men
that
in
shit
Black.
on you to forget that movie. Like it never happened, right? The
Right.
show came out and it was awesome, man. It redeemed that movie tenfold, right? So for him to come in and early on, you get to see him. Super pumped about it. We'll see what else is kind of up, where else he kind of pops up within the universe and stuff, right? So that he's trying to live his normal life. Peter wants to live a normal life, right? He wants to go back to, you know, um, the way
Finishing
things
high
were before he
school
was
and
announced, because again, his friends, they're all trying to get into college. It's around that time, and which I thought, wait, I just remembered that his friend, or I guess isn't his friend, like he has blonde hair, was like,
Flash.
yeah, Flash Thompson. Like after he called him and he was just like, "Hey man, I want you to be like I want you to tell everybody that you're my best friend." He just kind of disappeared. I don't think he showed up after
Yeah.
that, right? Like he just,
Yeah. I don't think
which his
they
character kind
pretty
of,
much just wrote him off after that.
yeah, which I'm like, his character is intriguing me, like because in the second film, right? Whenever remember when he goes back, like he's waiting for his parents to show up, but his parents don't show
Yeah.
up. And so I don't know. I think there's more to him than what they're putting on, or maybe he's just like a filler character. I'm not too sure, man. But I think there's more to him than what they kind of are putting out there. So I don't know. But again, he wants like Peter wants a normal life. He's sitting there like him, MJ, which I thought it was cool. They called her last name, right?
Yeah.
Michelle Jones Watson, MJ, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I thought that was really cool when police were interrogating her. But they go back to the diner, and they're all trying to get into MIT, right? That's the school that they want to go. And then again, they get a letter and it says, due to the everything that has been going on, we're having to like reevaluate whether we're going to move forward with you, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And then they go to what is it? They kind of flash back, right? They flash back to not flashback. What am I talking about? So he goes to Doctor Strange and he's like, "Hey, can we change this?" Right? And so he starts asking
Yeah.
him like, "Can you do this spell?" We find out that who's the Sorcerer Supreme?
Wong
Our boy
is
Wong.
actually
Our boy Wong.
Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, Sorcerer Supreme. So he got with Doctor Strange being blipped, Wong became Sorcerer Supreme, so now he's Sorcerer Supreme. Um, but yeah, apparently there's this magic spell. Boom, boom, boom. Kind of tries to change things. He can't because Peter starts fucking some shit up. He's like, "Don't worry about it." He's like, "Go out, live your normal life. You know, things are gonna get better, right?"
Yeah.
So Peter, or he's just like, "Hey, I want you to call the admissions." He goes to call the admissions. Apparently the lady is stuck in traffic, which is super weird, but whatever. I don't know why he's like flying out there the traffic to go talk to this woman. Whatever, whatever. Movies, it's a movie. Whatever.
Right.
He's sitting there. He starts to get the Spidey sense. His Spidey sense is tingling.
His Peter
His
Tingles.
Peter tingles. His Peter tingles. Oh fuck! I didn't realize his name is Peter too. Anyways, Peter tingles, and fucking Doc Ock shows up and just starts ripping shit apart. Right now,
Yeah.
this is what I want to give you props on: is that you noticed that the nanobots go into Doc Ock's arms and they like absorb Peter's power, but not really. Kind of flips it, and Peter takes control of them.
Yeah.
Right. So
Peter's able to take control over the arms.
yeah. So, anyways, I'm giving the whole plot away. I need to stop this. We need to talk about the highlights of the film, right? So again, so they talk about so all the different characters, right? So eventually they have to trap everybody.
Yeah.
You got Electro. You have, which he was cool, man. He was Jamie Foxx is
Yeah.
smooth. I love Jamie Foxx in almost anything he does, man. Jamie Foxx. Yeah. Otto Octavius. You have Willem Dafoe's character, so Norman Osborn.
Norman
You have
Osborn.
the Lizard. Poor Lizard. He gets trapped immediately. He just
Yeah.
automatically gets trapped. He's just like, all right, cool. You're gonna be trapped and go into the goddamn prison. Um, Norman
And
Osborn,
Sandman.
and then Sandman, right? And Sandman's character was a little weird. Like it was like he was like he trusted him, but he didn't trust him. And I don't
Yeah.
know. His character was weird, man. I was a little off put by his character, but whatever. Um, but yeah, no, man. So what did you think of the villains? Was it a good choice of the villains? Was
I
there somebody
mean,
missing
it's
you would have wanted to see instead?
no, because like Vulture's in jail. The person that's probably going to be Scorpion is in the same jail with Vulture. Um, Morbius hasn't isn't here yet.
Yeah.
Um, they just brought back Kingpin because Spider Man also fights Kingpin. Um,
Kingpin's like in all like he fights everybody. He don't give a
yeah,
damn. He fights anybody in MCU.
they already used Taskmaster and Black Widow, which took place, prior to all this. So, um, I don't know, like who else they could have brought in. But they eventually they got if they want to do Sinister Six, they got to pick a third or a sixth one.
Yeah, I was trying to do the math. I was just like, do they have 6 people? Do they only have like 5 people? I couldn't.
Yeah, it's only five right now. With in this movie, it's only the five.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I was like maybe the tree. I was like, maybe the
The
tree.
tree, just a random tree.
There's a random tree just kind of chilling in there. But yeah, no man. So it was so I love the villains. Alfred Molina getting to see him as Doc Ock was fantastic. I
Yeah,
feel like Norman Osborn, like Willem Dafoe's character, like or Willem Dafoe, not character, his character, the Willem Dafoe, the actor. I think he fucking killed it. Like he did awesome as Green
yeah,
Goblin. Like that laugh, he was a lot more sinister. Like I felt like rewatch because I think on Monday I also rewatched the first Spider-Man 2000 I think 2002 version, right? Tobey Maguire. I rewatched that,
yeah,
and like
yeah,
Osborn was awesome. Like he was still great. Like Willem Dafoe was still great in that, but in this one, man, he was like his laugh, his facial expressions. Like first you thought he was like innocent and like he was perfectly nice and he was a kind person, and then he like fucking brought out the goblin, and the goblin was just like, oh dude, he was awesome. He was so like just menacing and scary, and you were just like, oh shit, like where is this going to go? It was great. Like I thought he was probably one of the better ones, like better villains out of them. I did
yeah.
I did like Jamie Foxx's villain Electro as well, and Doctor Otto Octavius, man, like Doc Ock he was great. He was great as well. But it was just good to see him back. It was just great to see him. Like he always is great, and I think he steals the
Yeah.
show a lot of times. But for me, man, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. I don't know, man. Who do you think was probably the best villain?
Um, I mean, I like Doc Ock. I like how they gave Jamie Foxx like the original Electro outfit. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, every time he would like shoot at him, like the star on his head would come
Yeah,
out. That was
yeah,
so cool.
yeah. That was really cool. Like that made it really that made it really cool to see him do that.
And then Peter, of course, uh, he gets attacked, or I guess he brings it back to the condo, Happy's condo, and they they fuck his shit up, right? They fuck him up, and then
Yeah,
Aunt May dies. And this is how I knew she was gonna die. One, she got knocked the fuck out with that glider. That glider took her out, bro. That glider did some damage to her. But two,
yeah,
when she said, "With great power also comes great responsibility," I was like, she's dead. Like as
right.
soon as she said that statement, I was like,
Because that's what Uncle Ben said when he died.
so as soon as she said that, I was like, he's goner, gone.
That's a wrap.
She's done. Like that's a wrap. Like she's not going to survive whatever she's dealing with. And of course she didn't, right? And so he leaves. He's in tears, man. He's upset. He's broken. They broke Spider-Man, right?
Yeah,
Like he finally got that same sense that all the other that same feeling that all the other Spider-Mans had gotten, because obviously they didn't show Uncle Ben die in the Tom Holland's Spider-Mans, right? And I think they did that on purpose. They're like, it's played out. Everybody knows it happens. It's fine. We don't need to
yeah,
keep rehashing that. But for Aunt May to die was such a plot twist because you again, I don't. I mean, it may have happened in some of the comic books, right? But um, I didn't expect it, and then of course it happened, and I was like, holy shit, this like
yeah.
she died, right? So
You got to sneeze.
okay, cool. I had to pause there. I was like, I'm not about to sneeze on this mic. But yeah, no. So for her to die, and then he goes in, and he's like, of course, John Jameson doesn't help it at all. It's just fucking
Yeah,
pouring it on him as the rain is pouring on him. So that's a good
right.
metaphor. And and I don't and this and all this is happening, right? What's his Ned takes uh Doctor Strange's like rings,
His sling ring.
he sling rings, and I guess he starts doing a little circle thing, and he's like, "Oh, would you know?" And Mary Jane and him are like sitting there, and they're gonna press the button on this box because this box is gonna just transform everything back to normal, right?
Yeah,
Or get rid of all the other villains, and they're gonna go back and they're gonna die, and they don't want them to die, right? Peter being like, "I can save people," and so as all that stuff is happening, he does this little thing. And she's like, see if you can bring Peter back. See if you can find Peter. So he starts thinking about Peter, and he opens it. He's like, Peter Parker, Peter Parker, and you see Spider-Man, you see an alley, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh shit, that's Tom Holland. But then the eyes look a little bigger than normal,
yeah.
and runs and jumps out, and you're like, wait, what? Everybody's cheering, and I'm still confused because I haven't seen the Amazing Spider-Man. I never watched him, right?
Oh, really?
I never did, right? And so I was like, what? And he takes off his mask. Holy shit, it's Andrew fucking Garfield. And
Right.
I'm like, holy shit. And again, I told you before this podcast, everything I read was he was not going to be in it. He came
Yeah.
out multiple times and was like, they never called me. They never sent me
Yep.
an email. I know nothing of this film. I don't know nothing. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. Like nothing. Toby, I heard was going to be in it. I heard
Yeah.
again, no confirm, like nobody really confirmed it, but like people were like, he's gonna be in it, right? Like he's in it, like he has to be in it, right? And so that he's out there, he comes in, he's talking to them, and he's like, that shit was funny when they're like, well, show
And she
us.
kept throwing the bread at him.
Yeah, we just kept throwing the bread at him, and he's like fucking has his hand on the ceiling to kind of like stick to there. And then hit like I guess Ned's like grandmother or mom or whoever that person
Yeah, his
was.
grandma came
It
out,
was
asked
I
him
was
to
like,
get the
hey,
cobwebs
get
down.
the cobwebs down so he to like crawl on the ceiling, which was awesome. And then he's like, "We'll do it again. See if you can get the other Peter, right?" Fucking, you see the circle opens. There's a shadow. There's a guy in like a bomber jacket, and he comes in, and it's fucking Toby Maguire. Holy shit! Holy shit balls! I was sitting there blown away, man. Like I never
Yeah,
thought
my
this man was gonna come back as Spider-Man.
my theater went nuts when they showed him, like clapping, cheering, yelling. It was nuts.
I did tell you like there was some cheering, for these characters, right? There was, right? But maybe like you said, people were going nuts.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, people exploded in my movie theater. They were like,
I was talking to our friend Victor, right? He like sent me a text. He's like, "Oh yeah, man." He's like, "I hate when people cheer." He's like,
yeah,
"It's
he
so
told me the
stupid."
same thing.
He told you the same thing. He's like, "I hate when
Yeah,
people
he told
cheer."
me the same thing.
I was like, "Bro, chill. It's not that serious. Let these people cheer. It's fine. They're excited, right?" So, but no,
Right.
man, people are going crazy. Like, seeing Toby come out, and it was like, and again, he didn't put the suit on. He was still in his like in his
Street
in his
clothes.
street clothes and stuff. And then again, fast forward, they all kind of unite, man. They console Peter. They're like, and that was an awesome scene. And again, that
Yeah.
was very very reminiscent of like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. We talked about this before because remember, all of them are sharing their stories about their uncle dying, and of course, in Miles Morales' case, like it was his uncle, right, who passed
Yeah.
away. And so they're all telling them, they're like, hey,
No,
somebody has to die.
it was his dad. Oh wait.
In
Oh, I guess
Spider-Man,
I'm thinking of the game. I'm
no,
thinking of the
no, no,
game,
no,
I
no, no.
think.
In Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales' his uncle passed away. Because remember, his
What was
dad
I
in the
thinking?
in the movie is a cop.
Yeah. I don't know why I was thinking of the game because in the game you spend more time with the uncle
Yeah.
as Prowler.
Yep. Um, so that so they all share that. Again, some of the reminiscence of that, right, are very similar. They're all kind of sharing that story, and they're talking to each other, and they're telling each other kind of, like they had to lose somebody to become who they were, right, and made them
Yeah.
better and stuff. So, but I liked their dynamic, man. I liked seeing all them together. Their banter, their jokes, and everything. Like that was really cool. I loved whenever Andrew Garfield looked at Toby and was just like, "Hey, man, so you can't go in there fighting like looking like a youth
A youth
a
pastor.
youth past." And he just like pulls his shirt down and he has the fucking costume underneath, man, which is great. But when they first try to like when they first meet all the other villains and at the Statue of Liberty and they're fighting and going back at it and stuff, um, like they didn't get it at first, and then finally they were like, "Hey, we got to do this together," and they all were slinging. That shit was awesome. That shit was
Yeah.
awesome. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit, they're like doing it. They're really doing it."
Right.
I want to go back and watch it again, and I kind of want to slow down because remember, like when Doctor Strange was opening, like the universe was or like the timeline was breaking open,
Yeah.
and there were other characters in the shadows.
Yeah.
And obviously you saw Rhino. Rhino was one of them,
Yeah. I saw Rhino.
but I didn't know who the other characters were.
Yeah, it was hard to decipher. I think I saw another Doc Ock up there.
Oh shit. Okay.
I think I saw more tentacles. I'm not sure. It was hard to like because they didn't really focus on it too much or
Mm-mm.
long enough that you could like pick a bunch of people
But
out.
if you watched it the first time it happened, so like earlier in the film, you could see Lizard. Because like remember when Doctor Strange, like as Peter's kind of telling him and he's like doing all the things, it,
Yeah.
it kind of pans out and you see the purple because it starts breaking and he's like, "Hey Peter, stop!" But you can kind of see an outline of Lizard because you can see the
Huh. I
tail and the
didn't
mouth
notice
and
that.
stuff. Yeah, you have to catch it really quickly. They only show it for like a
Yeah.
split second, but you can see like one of the cloud things or whatever. It looks like Lizard, and obviously he comes out. So and he becomes one of the characters. But I was trying to see who else was on there. I was like, "Oh shit, look at all these people and stuff." But um it ends with Peter killing Green Goblin. I'm kidding, he doesn't kill Green Goblin, but he's beating the hell out of him, and they finally kind of figure out a solution and stuff. Toby gets stabbed, and unfortunately at the end they have to forget Peter Parker, and he asks Doctor
Yeah.
Strange to make him forget. So, um, yeah, man, it was tough. It was tough to kind of see how that had to happen, and then towards the end, Happy like reunited with him and seeing him. But nah, man,
And he even forgot him. He didn't know who he was.
he knew Spider-Man, which I thought was weird. It's like, how do they know Spider-Man but not Peter Parker? But I guess he just hid his identity very well.
Yeah,
They
he
never knew who he
hasn't
was.
shown his identity.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And so he knows that, and nobody else knows that. And then of course, like he wanted to tell Mary Jane how much he loved her, but that's the Spider. It was a Spider-Man one thing. Remember, as
Yeah.
Spider-Man in the first Spider-Man 2002, Toby like Kristen Dunst says, "I love you, Peter Parker. I thought about you." Blah blah. He's just like, nah. Turns around and walks away like a G. And this Peter does the same thing, man. He goes to Mary Jane, is talking to her, or not Mary Jane, but MJ. He's talking to MJ,
MJ.
and yeah, because her name's different, right? It's a Michelle Jones or something. But yeah, MJ. He's talking to MJ, and just like, no, like I'm not gonna do this, like whatever. Oh man, and that's another cool scene too, is whenever she falls off from the top, and like thinks she's gonna be saved, and Andrew Garfield saves her, and he like is
Yeah.
overwhelmed with emotion because he's just like, that was Gwen Stacy, like you should
His
have saved her.
redemption.
Yeah, man. So that was
But you
tough.
saw when they were before like the villains showed up and they were all like talking back and forth on the scaffolding and they were asking Toby about his web shooters or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
that
does it
was
come out
funny.
of anywhere else? And then Andrew Garfield was saying how like being down on himself.
Hmm.
And then Toby Maguire says, "No, you're amazing." Because in his franchise, he's the amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, and was just like, and again, that cool callback. That was a really cool callback, and he's trying to build him up. He's like, look, man, don't
Yeah.
be so down on yourself. Like you're great, and you're, all this other stuff, So it was cool again, man. It was cool to see like how each one of them knew their own insecurities. Each one of them
Yeah.
knew all their own strengths. Each one of them knew how the other one thought. And even though it was a different universe and they looked different, they were also still very similar in their lives.
Yeah.
It was just different things that changed and stuff. Oh, but the comedy was great, right?
Yeah.
Like when he's just like, guys, I know how to work as a team. I was an adventure. And then like Tom McGuire's like Peter Parker's just like, oh my God, that's amazing. What's an Avenger?
What is it? Is that a rock band?
Yeah, and Andrew Garfield's character is just like, is that a rock band or whatever? They were so excited, but they was like, no, like whatever. I don't have time to explain this, and they just kind of jump into it and stuff. But
When Strange came back first, like came back and he's like, "This is Peter Parker and this is Peter Parker."
yeah, and then or whenever when they were in the lab and Ned calls him, he's like, hey Peter.
He's like Peter, and they all
He's like,
Peter Parker.
raw Peter Parker. He's just like that one right there. Or at the same time, or the other time, what was the other scene? Oh, this is Spider-Man. This is Spider-Man 1. And then you're Spider-Man. I'm Spider-Man 2. And he's Spider-Man 3. He's like, yeah, I guess I'll
Yeah,
be number 3 or whatever, because they were trying to distinguish who was like Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. That was hilarious. Which I think was a small callback, as that they were pointing at each other. Like, that
yeah,
meme, right?
yeah.
So
That meme.
yeah, so I think that was kind of a callback to that a little bit too, as they were kind of pointing to one another, man. But overall, great film. I'm glad I got to
Yeah,
watch it, man. This is a great way to kind of talk about it towards the end of the season. I can't wait to see other people identify more Easter eggs, and then just kind of
well, you
learning more
saw
about
his
them.
his suit at the end after he like moved into the apartment by himself. Oh, and did you notice he had that book for getting a GED? So he didn't go back to high school after that.
Oh, I guess not. I guess he didn't go back to, yeah, because I did see the book with the GED, and that made me think
Yeah,
the same thing. I was just like, oh shit, I guess he's gonna do it from do it himself, or learn
yeah.
again. But what about the suit?
So like his suit, that's like the original Spider suit, the blue and the red.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a little shiny. It was a
Yeah,
little
that's
shiny.
super
I was
shiny.
just like, this is a little too shiny. But no, I guess you're right. I guess I didn't catch it. That it's the original. Like, I wonder if his story's being retold or something, or he's starting over.
Yeah,
Right.
I
So
mean he still gonna have the nano suit or the
is he gonna?
Iron Spider
The real
suit?
question is he gonna continue to play Spider-Man?
I think I read that he is.
I know they wanted
That
him to
they have
sign
more
for like.
Spider-Man movies planned now.
Yeah, it's like I know they wanted him to play 7 more films, or sign on for 7 more films. Will he or will he not? I don't know. But do you think Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire should rein in on that cash and maybe jump in every once in a while for some extra scenes or
I don't know
something?
if they'll bring him back again.
I mean, I don't think so either. But it's like if the money's
Yeah,
right, how would you say no?
right,
I'm just saying, Derek, if they're like, hey man, we'll pay you, you know, 25 million to just be in, 15 minutes of the film. Do you mind
right.
doing it? You'd be like, well, fuck yeah. Let me do some push-ups, get in shape. I'm there.
Hopefully, they'll introduce Miles Morales at some
Bro.
point in the
Well, I
MCU.
mean, again, like you said, the Jamie Foxx thing was funny as hell. And it's just
Yeah,
like he's like, yeah, he's like you fought crime in bad neighborhoods and you helped out all the poor people. I thought you were black.
right.
And everybody cheered.
So-
Everybody cheered too, right? You said people cheered in
yeah,
your theater too when he said that.
yeah. When he said that, in some there's got to be a black Spider-Man out there somewhere.
Yeah. Which again, once he said that, I was like, I thought he was gonna show up. I thought Miles was gonna show up. I was ready for it. I was like, yo, Miles, like somebody portraying Miles is going to show up.
If he would have in that movie, the roof would have just blown off the theater. I think.
Oh,
You know
dude.
what I mean?
Oh my God. Yeah. Even if they didn't show the actor, but they did the same actor's voice, either from Spider-Man Into the Universe or even from like the game, if they would have just did
Yeah.
their voice but had the suit on the entire time, I would have been still satisfied with that. Again,
Right.
you and I both know he's in that universe. He's in
Yeah,
that universe
because
because
his
remember
uncle was in the first Spider-Man movie.
his uncle, the Prowler, was in the first one. So, um, I wanna see him, man. I need a Hispanic superhero. A black or a Hispanic superhero, man. I want one of them. I mean, well,
Right.
they got Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, but Miles Morales, man, he's a Dominican. He's Afro Latino, man. So let's make it happen. Let's make it
Right.
happen. Or in the DC universe, bring out the Blue Beetle. I just want the Blue Beetle, man. That's what I really want. DC, come on, man, make it happen. Blue Beetle, let's go. Make the movie happen. I don't know how off putting that would be though. I don't think people want to dress up as a Blue Beetle, but whatever. But yeah, man, movie was great. I'm glad I got to see it. Honestly, I might watch it again. I might rewatch it on Christmas. I might watch
Yeah.
it. I might whatever. Why not, man?
Might as well.
That might be
And
the
what do you
goal
think
for
of
rewatch it.
the after credit scene?
You need to watch Carnage, man. That's all I'm gonna
Well,
say.
I read what the. Did it just get dark somewhere?
It looked like it did. Derek's being
So I read
hunted.
what happened, and it. So he basically his like he gets, I guess the room he's in
Hmm.
gets transported into the MCU, and so the TV is on, and it's J. Jonah Jameson's newscast, and he shows reveals the identity of Spider Man, and
Oh,
Venom like licks like he like uses his tongue to point and says that's him.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Cause I thought I thought he got blipped,
No, that was him getting
but that
um
makes a lot more sense if he got transported into like again like the other villains. So again, Sinister
yeah,
Six, he would have been the sixth one,
yeah,
right? I guess he got transported to that place, but didn't get transported to New York.
yeah,
He was still in that resort or wherever he was at, and
yeah,
then he would have. Oh shit, that makes a lot more sense, and that makes sense why he faded away. Because I was like, why is he fading away? I don't get it. I was like, maybe he was
yeah.
in their universe when he wasn't supposed to, and so he went back. But again, that makes me think. It's just like, is he ever going to show up, or which Venom
So
or
like
which
what I
Spider-Man
saw
is going
is
to be in
like
that universe? I don't know.
so like when he went like when he phased out or whatever, that little piece of symbiote was left behind.
Hmm.
So either like Sony won't let them use Tom Hardy, or Tom Hardy's going to want too much money. So maybe they're going to introduce their own Venom, which at one point Flash Thompson does become Agent Venom or Anti Venom. So he gets connected to the symbiote. So it
Oh,
could be Flash Thompson.
I could see that happening. I could see that happening. Holy shit! Holy shit! Mind blown.
So maybe the MCU Venom will be Flash.
I could see that. I could see that. That'd be super sick. But yeah, because when the symbiote got left behind, I was like, what's happening? Like, why is this
Right.
important? Like, this has to has to be a part of something. I just didn't know
Yeah.
exactly what it was. So that's good to know that it was because of that. because I was confused at first. I was like, what's this all about? But I don't know how that's gonna reach Spider-Man. But I think that like again, I think they said that at some point like they will cross paths. Like I could have
Yeah.
sworn I read like a Sony executive or somebody say like Venom and Spider-Man will cross paths at some point. And again,
Yeah.
Morbius too. Like Morbius has to, because again,
Yeah.
like Morbius had fucking Michael Keaton's character
Vulture.
Vulture, like they talk to each other. That's in the same
Yeah.
like oh shit, like that's like Morbius has to cross over with Tom
Yeah.
Holland at some point or Spider-Man at some point, whoever Spider-Man is going to be played at that time.
Yeah.
So that means that, and again, they in Morbius they even talk about Venom because they're like, hey, that thing is in San Francisco. We talked about the trailer, so I mean, bro, something.
Yeah.
Come on now,
Yeah. And even Morbius,
something's
when
going
he
on.
like in that trailer, when he, I guess it was the guy with the gun or was it a knife, and he like disarms him, and then he like the guy's like
Who are
helpless
you?
on the ground. He's like, I'm Venom, and he's like, rah, and he's like, just kidding, I'm your, I'm the doctor.
Yeah, I'm the doctor. How can I help you today, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. They're gonna be crossing over some point. Something's gonna
Yeah.
happen. Something's gonna happen. Multi-universe or universes, multiverses. They fucking opened up a wormhole.
Well, yeah,
Yes,
that's exactly what the last scene of the after credits wasn't really an after credits scene, more
of a trailer almost. It's
it
more of
was
a
a
trailer.
trailer
Yeah.
for the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
So they
Which
they
looked really
showed
good.
Doctor Strange going and finding Wanda, and
Yeah.
she thinks he's there because of that what happened in the WandaVision series
Mhm.
with taking over all the people in Westville, and he said he's not there for that. He wants her help on multiverse.
Yeah. And she was in her suit
And
too, like the red suit,
yeah,
which I was like, that was pretty
yeah.
cool.
And then they showed, I don't know the guy's name that left at the end of Doctor Strange. Mordor.
I don't think it's Mordor. I have to rewatch Doctor Strange.
But the guy, like at the end credit scene for that one, they showed him take the power away from that one guy that Doctor Strange learned about where how to get healing from.
Mhm.
So he's going to be back, of course. And
Yeah.
then they showed Supreme Strange or Strange Supreme.
That dude was freaky. That when he came on the screen, I was like, oh shit. And again, especially after watching What If, I was like, bro, this fucking guy right here. So it's yeah. Once they showed him, I was just like, that's not who I think it is. And I was like, oh shit, that's Supreme Strange. So yeah, man. After watching What If and seeing like what his character can do and what he did to become like to go back
To
in
become
time
Supreme
to
Strange.
become like I'm super hyped for that, man. So it's gonna be crazy.
Right.
And again, the visuals are beautiful, man. CGI has only gotten better over the years, man, and
Yeah.
so it looks just stunning visually. So I can see them for sure winning an Academy for like you know um art
Visual
direction and
effects
the
or
visual
whatever.
effects and stuff too, man. So yeah, it's gonna be a good one. So I like the after credit scenes. I wanted more though. I wanted more Spider-Man, but I mean I'm not mad if they showed the multiverse or Stephen Strange or the upcoming
Yeah.
Strange film. So
Yeah, I'm curious to see where Spider-Man's going to head from here. I'm sure they're going to do something.
oh no, for sure. I mean again, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while before they
Yeah.
even release one of those movies. There's so many things happening within like Phase 4 of the MCU. It's gonna get
Oh
interesting.
yeah.
It's gonna get interesting. There's gonna just keep adding more characters, and we're gonna see where Spider-Man is gonna come and what he is going to do within that within that world, man. So, and again, there's
Yeah.
just so many additions, more and more additions every single like month or every other few months, man. Some episodes or some show or something is coming out, so
Yeah.
it'll
Yeah, I
be a good
mean,
one.
what do we have coming up next? So I mean, next year we have Miss Marvel,
Hmm.
Doctor Strange in May, Thor: Love and Thunder supposed to be in July, She-Hulk next year sometime, and then the next Black Panther in November. So 3 more Marvel movies and a couple more series coming out.
Okay. We got some good shit coming out.
And then 2023, it just keeps going. The Marvels, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which I don't know how, like, is that gonna like tie in with the movies at all, or? And then also in 2023 is Ant Man and Wasp, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3,
Oh man, we have to wait so
Fantastic Four
long.
maybe, and then Blade even
Oh
in
shit, I forgot about
2023.
Blade.
Captain America 4 in 2024, Deadpool 3, Moon Knight is still coming out, Secret Invasion, Ironheart, Armor Wars. There's so much coming. I Am Groot. Yeah, this is gonna go on for a while. Marvel Zombies. I can't wait for that.
We're gonna have many, many things to talk about, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
plenty
This is
of topics to talk about.
so. I Echo's gonna have her own series. It looks like. Huh.
Oh, I didn't know Echo was gonna get her own series. I'm down to watch that series.
Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, so there's a lot coming. Spider-Man sitting at 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Let's keep it going, man. Hopefully it stays there. We'll see what happens. But my man, I know it's getting late, so you want to hop into this NFL and wrap
Yeah,
things
let's
up,
do
man,
some.
unless you wanted to cover
Wrap it
anything
up with some
else?
football.
Some foosball. All right, on December 9th, 2021, we had the Steelers and the Vikings. Did you happen to watch that game?
No, I didn't.
Was a solid game up until or it was a boring game up until the fourth quarter when the Steelers decided to start playing, and towards the end you thought that they were gonna win it, and
Yeah,
and no, it didn't happen. I think I forgot what happened at the end, but they didn't pull it off. Vikings ended up beating them 36-28, but it was a good game towards the fourth quarter.
yeah,
Ravens and Browns. I think this was kind of like the distinguishing game to figure out which team was going to be the number one team in the NFC North. And the Browns were able to take it 24-22, but Lamar
yeah,
Jackson, ankle injury was carted off the field. So that was
yeah.
an
Have they announced like if he's done for the season or is he playing this
I think
weekend?
he's playing this weekend. I think he's like limited, but it's one of those things where, man, again, we were talking about earlier with him being a mobile quarterback. I don't know how the longevity he's going to have, so
Yeah,
we'll see. Jaguars and Titans. Titans beat the Jaguars 20-0. Oh, Urban Meyer, he's already out. Not even. I don't
yeah.
think he
Got
made.
fired. Was it yesterday? Right? They fired him.
Didn't make it 13 games.
Yeah,
Um,
couldn't even make it a whole season.
couldn't make it a whole season, and they fired him. But man, they said apparently they said he had a bunch of shit. He kicked the player or something like that. Like they said he was like,
Kicker kicked him like right in the like under like in your thigh, most like kicked him in the thigh during in preseason.
wait, who did it? Urban kicked him, right?
Urban kicked
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah, kicked him or some shit like that. Like did some stupid shit. Was doing like just I didn't know how much of a jackass this guy was, but once I saw the time I saw him at the bar, and it was early in the season. He was at the bar, and he was like hugged up on some like college kid, or he was like at Ohio
Yeah,
State, and he was at an Ohio State bar or something like that, and he was with like a student, and was just chilling with his hand on her butt or something like that. And I think he's
yeah,
married. I think he's married or something.
yeah.
I don't
He's
know.
married.
Bro, he was out there wilding, and it was just like once he did that, I was just like, oh shit, the Jaguars are in trouble. But it kind of
Right.
somebody made a really good point earlier, man. They said that he like the Jaguars passed up on a lot of good candidates, man. They're doing really good within the season, like offensive coordinators and stuff, and defensive coordinators that could have taken that role, and they went with him. And shit, they're about to pay him for 4 more years or some shit like that. Like he's still gonna get paid. He's fired. He's gonna get paid. So I don't know. The team that just won earlier today, the Chiefs and the Raiders. Chiefs beat the Raiders 48-9. That was a complete blowout. That was wild.
Yeah.
Saints and the Jets. Poor Jets. Poor Jets. 30-9. Holy smokes. Cowboys and the Washington football team. Again, I think I mentioned this. Anytime I see WFT um, on Twitter, man, I always read it as WTF, as what the F, but whatever. But yeah, Cowboys in Washington, 27-20, man. For a second there, Cowboys got a little nervous. They didn't think they could pull it off, but I guess they're doing better in December than we thought. But I'm still
Right.
counting them out. Still counting them out. Falcons and Panthers. Falcons won 29-21. I think this is the game they benched Cam Newton. He was
Cam.
yeah, I think they benched him in the middle of the game or something like that, and it was the right move. Texans and Seahawks. Yeah, like I told you earlier, man. Anytime you ask me if they're playing or who they're playing this week, they're on bye week because
The bye week.
I'm just blacking them out right now. Still supporting the squad, but just blacking them out. They look terrible right now. Lions and Broncos. Broncos 38-10. This was the game that was kind of like a big honor for Demarius Thomas,
Yeah.
that wide
Yeah.
receiver, man. The play that I remember from him always is the Tim Tebow play in the playoffs against the Steelers. He ran across that middle, caught that ball, won that game, and wow, just wow. Yeah, it was just wow. But they got Peyton Manning a few years later, so that helped them out too.
Yeah.
Giants and Chargers. Chargers 37-21. Man, the Chargers got a stacked team. I mean, they gave the Chiefs a run for their money, man. So I think they got a lot of potential. 49ers and Bengals, 26-23s, man. 49ers showed up, man. So it's good to see. Bills and
Yeah.
Buccaneers. What's up?
It was.
Yeah, you probably watched the game. Tell me about it, man.
Yeah, I watched the game. I was surprised that Robbie Gold missed that kick at the end of regulation to win the game. Like that's the first miss he's had in like 2 seasons
Oh,
to win a game that could have, a potential game winning kick. That's the first one he's missed in like 2 seasons or something like that.
oh no, shit. So
Yeah.
luck was on the Niners side.
I guess the damn announcers jinxed him when they said that, jinxed him.
You gotta love it, man. Like and I think they're starting to acknowledge it. I don't think they acknowledged it at first. They were just like, oh yeah, this is the 15th kick in a row that he's had, and he hasn't missed all season. Fucking gets up there and misses it. Um,
Whiffs it.
yeah, or sometimes they're like, again, I think sometimes they announce it. They're like, yeah, he hasn't thrown an interception all week. Oh, well, you know what, Jim? You just said he hasn't thrown one all season, right? He hasn't. I said week,
Yeah.
but I'm
Now he's
teasing.
gonna throw one.
He's like, and then he's like, oh yeah, now he's gonna throw one. Fucking takes a step back, interception. He's like, oh, well, see, maybe we shouldn't say anything. So I think they
Right.
know it. They know they have the curse, man. Uh, Bills and Buccaneers. That game was great. That was a solid game.
And there was a lot of missed non-calls on Tampa Bay. Like Tay Diggs like getting held left and right. Like his jersey was like stretched way out like 10 feet behind him. Like, and they like, how do you not call that? Like the dude's jersey is like 10 feet behind him. How do you not call that?
Yeah, there was definitely some bad calls, man. But I think that even with the bad calls, like the Bills, they fought through, and I think that like they gave the Buccaneers a run for their money for sure. And I think
Yeah.
that Brady just had a good throw, fast wide receiver, and was able to pull it out, man, at the end. But um, I think the Bills, they got a solid team. They've whiffed it for sure on some of these like teams that they played that you're like, oh, you should have blown them out, and they didn't get blown out.
Yeah.
And they actually lost some of those games, but they need to show up. They show up, man. So I don't know. They got good players. They got a good team. I think Josh Allen is dealing with the ankle injury, so we'll see if he's going to continue to play or if he's going to, still kind of be as mobile as he usually is. Bears and Packers. The Bears, they put up 30 against the Packers, but the Packers still beat them 45. Aaron Rodgers, man, again, my old boss used to tell me, always be yourself unless you could be Aaron Rodgers, then be Aaron
Right.
Rodgers. So I respect that. The Monday night game, that was a solid game. It was the Rams and the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, he looks like a baby with his helmet off. That's Derek's words. And I think it's hilarious. Every time you see him take his helmet off, he's just like, oh, look, you just want to go goo goo gaga. No, whatever.
Oh, boo, boo, boo. give him a binky.
You gave him a binky. There it is. But Rams, 30-23. Man, the Rams are an interesting team. Every time I think that I'm like they're the best team in the NFL, then they fucking lay an egg, and you're like,
Get blown out.
yeah, they get blown out, and you're like, no, maybe they're not that good. But again, the same thing with the Cardinals. But I think the Cardinals just lost DeAndre Hopkins for the rest of the season. So,
Oh, for real?
yep, that's going to be a tough loss for them for the rest of the
Yeah.
season. But we'll see, man. But that's the NFL recap, Derek. Man, I'm ready to end it, man. I hate to end, the first season one of We Three Bros podcast. I know you're going on your trip, man, to Thailand. Are you excited for it, man? Are you doing anything fun out there?
Yeah, we got a couple of beach trips planned, and I don't know what else we're gonna do. Maybe go to a rooftop somewhere. I don't know.
Okay. Well, come back with a lot of
Yeah,
stories, man. Fucking share those. Take a lot of photos. Tell us some good stories you have
yeah. I
out
actually
there.
ordered one of those them DJI things that you can put your phone on and control it.
Hmm.
So I'll be trying that thing out, see how it works.
Okay, man. Take a lot of photos. Make sure to send them when you can. I don't know if you'll have like international texting or how the hell that would work, but
Usually when like whenever we go somewhere and they have Wi-Fi, I jump on their Wi-Fi.
and just send messages through that.
Yeah,
Cool, man.
yeah.
Well, send photos when you can, and wish you safe travels. Have a lot of fun, man. Come back in one piece, and can't wait to get season two started up right. It was a great season one so far. Had a lot of fun, man. We talked about a lot of things. Next season, man, we're gonna have some guests. We're gonna have some visitors for sure. So,
Yeah.
guys, be out there ready to listen and be a part of the podcast. Um, and yeah, man, it's been good. It's been good. Season one was awesome. It was a great way to end the season like this, man. Talking about the new Spider-Man, talking about
Oh
Hawkeye, kind of
yeah.
talk about the.
I think everything kind of lined up perfectly with like
Oh man, it really
being
did.
able to do our season finale like with all this content.
Oh, for sure, man. It was definitely a lot of fun, and yeah, ending with this kind of content and watching, and us both being able to watch it on the first, on opening night and stuff is always a big win. So, I'll take that any day, man. So again, it's
Right.
it's been a lot of fun. Season one has been great. Can't wait for season two, and yeah, man. I don't know. You got anything else?
Um I mean, when we first started talking about this, we still don't know where it's gonna go, but I look forward to every week when we get together and sit down and like just talk about whatever we want to talk about,
Hmm.
and and then put it out there for other people to hopefully get some entertainment value out of it, and maybe when some of the stuff that we bring up, they're like, oh, I didn't think of that, or
Yeah.
so we want to keep doing this. If you see Joseph on Twitter and he's tweeting from our from the We Three Bros podcast official Twitter, tweet back to him, and we'll throw you a shout out on the show,
Hell yeah.
or if you watch us on YouTube, leave some comments on there. We check that all the time also.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell Derek how cool his sweater is.
Yeah, you got to come and look at this. You know what? I bought this for an ugly Christmas sweater contest or competition that we went to at one of the German bars back in New York.
Yeah.
And so like this is like a true like ugly Christmas sweater. Like this, like when you think of ugly Christmas sweater, like this is one of the things you think of, like disgusting colors, and the dude that won, his sweater was just Santa Claus. I felt so robbed. Like I wanted to throw my beer mug at somebody.
Derek's like fucking robbery of the century right here.
For real. I'm like, how is an ugly Christmas sweater when this dude's Christmas sweater is literally just Santa Claus? And it wasn't like an ugly, like funny shapes or crazy colors. It was
Nothing.
like traditional red and white Santa Claus. I'm like,
Oh shit.
this is some BS.
BS big time, man.
I was robbed.
Robbery of the century, I'm telling you. Crime organizations have nothing on you, man.
Right. But yeah, this is a good season, good way to to end the first season, and we can't wait to start season two. It's
Hell yeah.
we're only gonna get better with time, so
For sure. Keep
we're
listening,
glad
guys.
for the people that listen and the watch us on YouTube. Everyone that checks us out, we really appreciate it. We really, really do.
Absolutely, man. But yeah, no, thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you guys. Can't wait for season two. You guys have a great holiday, man. Be safe. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Anything that you guys
All the
celebrate,
good
man. All
stuff.
the good stuff, man. Happy holidays. Celebrate that. Be safe out there. Have a lot of fun. Tell the people that you're with that you love them. Give them a hug and celebrate the new year. Have a happy new year as well. And wish you guys much happiness, much fun, and just a lot of love out there, man. So appreciate you guys for listening. Bigfoot, fuck you, man. I'm still pissed off
You're not
that
welcome on season 2.
you're not welcome on season 2. I'm keep talking shit, man. So if you're out there, come see me, bro. You know where I live. You know where I live. I saw you last night. You were in the woods taking a shit, you asshole. But no,
Maybe he was
man.
one of the ones that got blipped.
Yes, that's what it
He
was.
just came back as a hairy ass man.
There it is, man. Yeah, he never got a chance to shave, so all his hair grew back.
Like 5 years, he just turned into
Exactly.
a hairy ass man.
To be fair, Mr. Clean is Bigfoot. It's fine. But yeah, no, thank you everybody listeners, man. Be safe out there. We appreciate you guys. And Derek, man, as always, do your thing. Close us out.
Yeah, I want thank to all the listeners and everyone that watches us on YouTube. I want to thank Joseph for being here every week. Even when he's sick, he makes it. This dude is a trooper.
I don't know if you noticed, man. I got a like a bruise on the forehead. I got fucking knocked out yesterday.
I saw it. I thought it was a pimple or something. I didn't want to say nothing.
I was working out yesterday, man, and I fucking was lifting the bar, and I like try to put it over my head and fucking clip my head. But yeah, I got injuries, man. I got a concussion. I'm still here. I'm just kidding.
You're concussed.
I'm concussed.
Yeah. So yeah, thank everyone that was here. I hope Joseph. I hope you have a Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a Happy New Year.
You too, brother.
I hope you get to spend some time with the fam.
Hell yeah.
I want to wish all of our listeners happy happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Next year is everyone's year. We're all going to get it. Everyone's going to have a great year next year.
Hell yeah.
And I think that's it. This is
season finale of season 1, guys.
Yeah, go to our website we3bros.com and check us out on there. That's where you can find like links to all the hosts for the podcast, Google, Spotify, Apple, all that stuff's on there. The link for the YouTube channel's on there. The link to the Twitter's on there and to the Facebook. So yeah, all the ways to reach us on we3bros.com. And there's even a form on a contact us form. So if you want to give us some suggestions, stuff that you want us to talk about next season, we're up for it, man. Whatever anyone wants us to talk about, we're down. So yeah, we look forward.
I got you. I'll do some research on it and I'll talk about it and how to prevent it. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that to me.
So yeah, thanks to everyone that listened to throughout season 1, and we look forward to season 2. And with that, we will see you in the next year. We're out.